Hello everyone, this is Cass from Mad Alchemy Comics and I'm here to bring you another video. So in this video, I'm working on a certain type of content known as narrative-based versus battles. So in these particular type of battles, we are not only just going to put two people into battle, but is there an actual narrative-based reason why these two would combat each other? And when they meet each other in battle, who would more than likely come out on top and who would go on to complete their journey. So with that said, let's get into it. So our two combatants today are two swordsmen of interesting and informal swordsman type skills and their swordsman type styles, where they carry not one, not two, but multiple types of swords. In this unorthodox style, they carry a lot of power and capability while also trying to be the best in their overall fields of combat. So first we're going to get into our first combatant, Date Masamune. He is a nobleman type samurai character who is the head of an army. He inherits it from his family. He is known by the nickname the One-Eyed Dragon. There's a reason for this, because when he was born and he was young, he was very sickly, and because of his sickness, he had to lose one of his eyes. This gave him the moniker not only because of his fierceness in battle as a dragon, but because of his lost eye. So over time, he becomes the head of his house, and he kind of competes with other households in his area. One of his known rivalries is a young lord known as Yoshimori. But oftentimes, because Yoshimori hasn't inherited that being the head of a household yet, he must escape his rivalry in order to attend to his duties as being a head of a household. With that being said, he's often known for going into battle and helping other households take on other rising families that try to take over Japan, take over Japan, and rise their family to a higher esteem. Sometimes he comes back and he needs multiple chances in fighting, because these guys are kind of... The world of Sengoku is very intense. So sometimes he loses, sometimes he wins, but overall, Date will come up on top more times than not in the second bout. As mentioned before, he's known for his unorthodox style in six swords. In his six sword style, he kind of carries them like a Wolverine type character, where he has them in between his knuckles and he uses them for slashing. Of his swords, he usually carries two powerful swords known as the Alistair and the Tiamat. But the downside to these two powerful swords, one giving him lightning-based abilities, and the other one is just a overall powerful output type of swords, is that they usually carry it in the six sword style. So, for example, when he does an exchange with somebody in one of the animes, out of the six swords, 5 of them broke, only being the Alistair that remained. So his swords do have a big durability issue, because only, again, 2 or 3 of them are actually capable of withstanding long standing battles. But even though that happened, his skill level is still high enough that he defeated his foe. While also, he's known for numerous capabilities, and that's being his speed, his durability, and his overall swordsmanship skills, and his lightning-based attacks. So with that being said, we're going to go over to our next combatant, who needs very little introduction, but we'll give him some anyway. Roranoa Zoro. Zoro's dream has always been to be the number one swordsman in his universe. Going to train with a school in a part of his world, he also gains a rival in a young girl. The young girl passing away early, he inherits her sword and goes on his own journey. Utilizing his skills, he gets his funds by becoming a pirate hunter. During this process, he helps another person in need and gets captured. In being captured, he is saved by a young pirate and becomes indebted to him and becomes his second in command. So his overall duty is to his pirate crew and to helping his captain become king of the pirates. So this is also an interesting narrative base that I want to touch on, being that he is a swordsman in his right, but also kind of the second hand. So it would give him kind of a basis of rivalry, like with Yoshimori. Zoro's most notable skill base are his overall strength and durability. He is known for his three sword style. His most notable swords that he has with him right now are his Enma, his Sendai Kitetsu, and his Wado Ichimonji. He imbues these with a skill that he has known as armament haki, which helps him in the durability of keeping his weapons. In doing this and beating many enemies, he has gained the nickname the King of Hell. So again, now as this happens, these two meet in battle. So what happens? Well, let's say the Straw Hats come onto the land and they do their overall Straw Hat stuff. Zoro takes on some no-name swordsman that he thinks has some skills. They get beat and they run back to go get the head of their house, Date. Now the two fight. Date utilizes his 6 sword style. Zoro utilizes his 3. Imbuing his swords with the lightning and him with the haki, they do a clash. But as mentioned before, Zoro might have a bit more of a power output, which takes out immediately 6 of his swords. I mean 5 out of the 6 of the swords, leaving his current ones. We'll say he takes out 4 of the 6, leaving Tiamat and Alistair. They go into their battle. Dante's going to mostly utilize his speed because of the lightning, and he's going to imbue it with his remaining swords with the lightning. The overall exchange is going to be more even up until a certain point, where I think Zoro will come out from the durability aspect. Dante will use his speed, get some good cuts in, but overall, once Zoro puts on that bandana and locks in and utilizes his other haki abilities and observation and his armament, he will utilize his main attack and he will immediately cut Date down. So overall, I would give the fight to Zoro. Only because, one, Zoro's swords can withstand the durability due to his armament haki. He will have observation haki, which will be able to lock in on Date's skills. Now, Date will have some abilities that can take him on by speed blitzing him and utilizing the lightning in order to, really numb him up and slow him down. But this will be nothing that he would not be used to, as he's dealt with faster opponents and abilities with more hacks. So overall, I give the victory to Zoro. He goes on to try to continue to be the number one swordsman, and he gains accolades by taking out a samurai. Our winner, Zoro.